Asterisk Chapter 1. Dawn on the Sacred Lake. The gentle awakening asterisk. You wake slowly, very slowly, as if rising from the softest, deepest dream you have ever known. The first thing you hear is the faint, delicate whisper of reeds swaying in the morning breeze. A sound so gentle, so patient. It feels as if it has been calling to you for centuries. Your small wooden canoe rocks ever so slightly, rocking on the glassy waters of Lake Texcoco. The lake stretches endlessly before you, like a perfect mirror, holding the pale, fragile light of the pre-dawn sky. A thin veil of silver mist rises from the water, drifting and curling, like wandering spirits, ancient and kind, dancing above the surface. They carry the scent of fresh earth and blooming water lilies, a fragrance that wraps around you like a blessing. It is the year 1485, and you are adrift in the quiet heart of the floating gardens of Tenochtitlan, the great island city of the Mexica people, the Aztecs. All around you, the chinampas stretch in neat, endless lines, green ribbons of life floating on the sacred lake. These islands, built by the hands of your ancestors, woven from reeds, layered with rich black mud, are so alive that even the air above them feels fertile. They feed the great city. They are the city's beating heart. The canoe beneath you is carved from a single piece of cypress wood, smooth to the touch, the edges worn soft by countless journeys across these same waters. Your paddle, held gently in your hands, feels warm and familiar, as natural as breathing. You dip it into the water with slow, unhurried grace, the motion creating delicate ripples that spread outward, carrying with them the first hints of golden light. The water is warm, surprisingly warm for dawn, warmed by the hidden breath of underwater springs. The priests say these springs are gifts from Calcayatlacu, the jade-skirted goddess of rivers, lakes, and all flowing waters. You let your fingers trail just beneath the surface, feeling the silky smoothness, the soft pressure, the quiet power of something ancient and eternal. And then, ahead of you, the great city itself begins to appear from within the drifting mist. The massive stone temples rise like mountains from the island, their stepped pyramids catching the newborn sunlight on their sharp, ancient edges. You can see the great temple, the Templo Mayor, its twin peaks dedicated to Huitzilopochtli, god of war, and Tlaloc, god of rain and fertility. But in this sacred hour, before the city wakes, there is only stillness. Stillness so complete you can hear the sound of your own slow, steady breathing. Your canoe glides silently between the chinampas, past rows of maize tall and strong, their silk tassels heavy with shining dewdrops that catch the light and turn into tiny jewels. Tomato vines bow gently under the weight of ripe red fruit, and amaranth plants sway in the faint wind, their purple blossoms like thousands of small, glowing flames. You pause your paddling, allowing the canoe to drift on its own, the water carrying you where it wishes. The sounds of the morning gather around you, the soft lap of water against the reed walls, the faint whisper of leaves, and then the clear, musical cry of a quetzal bird in the distance. Its song echoes across the lake, a sound so pure it seems to open the air itself. The fragrance of cacao flowers drifts from the edges of the gardens, rich and sweet, blending with the deep, grounding scent of the dark, fertile soil. Every breath you take feels like a gift, slow, calm, filling your chest with the peace of this ancient place. As you draw closer to the city, you see the fishermen beginning their work. Their nets, woven from maguey fiber, shimmer with droplets as they are cast into the lake. The nets settle without a splash, and the fishermen wait, perfectly still, patient as herons. One fisherman pulls his net gently, and you see the flash of silver fish in the growing sunlight. Among them, you catch a glimpse of the axolotl, the sacred salamander, a creature linked to Zacaquetzal, goddess of beauty, love, and flowers. The fishermen take only what they need, always leaving enough for the lake to give again tomorrow. Your canoe continues its slow, hypnotic path, rocking in time with the heartbeat of the water. Each gentle wave cradles you, as though the goddess herself rocks you toward the edge of sleep once more. You let your eyelids lower, breathing deeper, slower, letting the peace seep into you. And as you float in this perfect stillness, remember that moments like this can stay with you. They can be returned to again and again just by closing your eyes. If you'd like to continue this journey with me, exploring more of these quiet mornings, these ancient, sacred waters, then you can gently press the like button and softly, without rush, subscribe to this channel. That way, whenever you need peace, it will be waiting for you here, ready to carry you back to the gentle waters of Tenochtitlan. For now, stay in the moment, listen to the soft lap of the lake, feel the warm air on your skin, and drift, drift, drift into calm. The sun climbs slowly and steadily, rising above the horizon until its light spills softly across the sacred waters, painting the vast sky in delicate layers of color. Gentle pinks like the inner shell of a conch, luminous gold like the precious metal your people trade with distant lands, and deep, serene blues like the polished turquoise stones set into the walls of temples and palaces. As the light strengthens, the stillness of the lake stirs, and in the growing glow you notice other canoes gliding across the surface, each carved with patience and skill from a single trunk, their shapes flowing as naturally as the water beneath them. Their wooden flanks are adorned with quiet beauty, painted with simple yet meaningful designs. Feathers that speak of the sky, flowers that honor the earth, and geometric patterns that echo the sacred order binding the heavens, the water, and the soil into one harmonious whole. Some of these canoes carry farmers bound for their chinampas, the floating gardens that feed the city, their vessels heavy with tools of obsidian, the volcanic glass sharper than any metal blade, glittering faintly as it catches the sunlight. Others carry women with woven baskets balanced carefully on their knees, heading toward the great market at Tlatelolco. Their voices drift over the water, soft and lilting, speaking in Nahuatl, the liquid, melodic language of your people. Words that seem to carry the memory of rivers and the music of wind in the reeds. The water beneath you is so clear it feels like air, revealing the life moving just below the surface. Small silver fish drifting in loose constellations, turning and swaying in unison, their scales scattering the sunlight into sparks, like tiny stars being born beneath the ripples. You dip your paddle once more, slowly and deliberately, feeling the gentle resistance of the lake, its quiet strength flowing against the wood. Each stroke moves you a little closer to the city, but there is no urgency, no need to hurry, only the steady rhythm of paddle and water, breath and heartbeat, each moment folding into the next like a calm wave folding into the shore. As you drift, a water lily floats past, its white petals flawless, opening in perfect symmetry to greet the warm touch of the sun. The Aztecs call it the heart of the lake, and as you lean closer you understand the name, for it sits calmly upon the surface yet draws life from deep below, connecting the hidden depths to the open sky, uniting the earth and the heavens in a single living symbol. You lean forward slightly, careful not to rock the canoe, and breathe in its fragrance. Fresh, delicate, carrying with it the feeling of morning itself. It smells of beginnings, of clarity, of peace. The scent moves through you, loosening the last traces of worry or thought, replacing them with a serenity that feels older than memory. Beneath the flower, the water is so perfectly still it holds the lily's reflection like a mirror, creating the illusion of two blossoms, one above and one below, both equally real, both equally beautiful. Here, nothing is separate. Everything is in balance. Every life a reflection of another, the world above echoing the world below. As the canoe drifts, you notice how the water changes with the distance. Near the shore it glows a pale, living green, colored by the reeds and grasses leaning over its edge. Farther out it deepens into a clear blue, and beyond that into the darker, richer blue-green that suggests depths you cannot see. Depths where the spirits of the ancestors and the guardians of the lake may dwell, unseen but always present. The morning mist still clings to the surface in thin, curling veils that drift slowly in the warming air, parting and reforming so that the distant city appears and disappears in soft intervals, like something half remembered from a dream or glimpsed in the reflection of a pool. Your breathing slows without you noticing, falling into the rhythm of the lake, the pulse of the water, the gentle pattern of the day's awakening. Each breath draws in the sweetness of lake air, laced with the scent of lilies, cacao flowers, and damp earth, and each exhale carries away anything heavy, leaving only the calm. The sun rises higher still, and the water before you becomes a sheet of molten gold, rippling softly under the touch of your paddle. Light dances across its surface, flickering like stardust falling into the lake and dissolving into pure light. Around you, the chinampas float like green islands in a dream, their morning caretakers working with slow, measured grace, their bare feet pressing into the moist soil, their hands tending the crops with the same quiet patience their parents and grandparents practiced. From the corner of your eye, you see a monarch butterfly drift toward you, its orange and black wings patterned with such precision they resemble stained glass. It lands lightly on the edge of your canoe, as if drawn here by the same peace that holds you in place. For a long moment, it stays perfectly still, its tiny legs gripping the wood, its wings folding and unfolding in slow rhythm. Then, without a sound, it lifts into the air and floats away, vanishing into the warm light like a small prayer carried on the wind. The water rocks your canoe in its steady, timeless cradle. the movement so natural and so gentle that your eyelids begin to feel pleasantly heavy. The warmth of the sun spreads over your face, down your shoulders, into your hands, until you are wrapped in a cocoon of comfort. From far across the lake, a soft peal of bronze temple bells begins to sound, the notes rising and falling like liquid music that carries itself over the water without disturbing its calm. The sound folds into the rhythm of the morning, not breaking the stillness, but deepening it, adding a layer of harmony to the moment. It feels as if the lake itself is singing, as if the world is telling you that here, in this place, all is as it should be. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the light, the warmth, the sound, and the water carry you. And as you rest in that feeling, remember that you can return here at any time, to these quiet waters, to this sacred calm, simply by closing your eyes again. If you wish to keep exploring these peaceful journeys, to drift further into the heart of this ancient world, you can gently press the like button and, without hurry, subscribe to this channel so that whenever you need this calm, it will be waiting for you, ready to welcome you back to the gentle waters of Tenochtitlan. For now, there is nothing to do but drift, breathe, and let yourself sink deeper into peace. Your canoe drifts onward, the water carrying you on currents so soft they seem more like whispers than movement, as if you were being guided not by wind or tide, but by the slow, sleeping breath of ancient gods. The motion is steady and patient, a cradle that rocks you deeper and deeper into a state of absolute serenity. All around you, water lilies bow and nod in the mild morning breeze, their white petals shifting like the hems of 1,000 small robes, while tall reeds lean toward one another, sharing quiet secrets in a language they have spoken for centuries. The sacred lake itself seems alive in its care for you, holding your canoe gently, steadily, with the same tenderness that a mother uses to cradle her sleeping child. Your breathing falls into a slower rhythm without effort, each inhale expanding your chest with clean, sweet air, each exhale carrying away the last fragments of thought and weight from the waking world. The sound of the water lapping against the sides of your canoe becomes your metronome, steady and soft, a pulse that draws you further inward. With each breath, you feel yourself sink deeper into peace, deeper into calm, as though the lake is not only beneath you but inside you, filling your whole being with its sacred stillness. The morning sun climbs higher into the sky, laying a warm golden light over everything it touches. The surface of the water glows as if turned to molten metal. The reed walls of the chinampas shimmer faintly, and the paddle in your hand gleams with a quiet warmth. You feel yourself drifting, not just forward across the water, but inward into a deeper layer of calm, into a stillness so complete that even your thoughts move like slow, soft clouds. The rocking of the canoe becomes an extension of your own breath, and your eyelids begin to grow heavier with each sway. The water speaks in its own ancient tongue, a murmuring of secrets it has carried for centuries, while the breeze hums an eternal lullaby that belongs to this place alone. The two voices, lake and air, blend into a song that your heart recognizes without knowing why. And before long you find yourself surrendering to it completely. You sink into the safety of this sacred place, feeling the warmth of the light on your face and the embrace of the lake beneath you, letting yourself rest, letting yourself trust, letting yourself drift into deep, restorative sleep. The sacred waters of Lake Texcoco hold you gently, lovingly, as you float between the worlds of waking and dreaming, embraced by the peace of a blessed dawn. Chapter 2: The Garden of Floating Dreams *. Somewhere between sleeping and waking, you feel your canoe gliding onward, carried effortlessly deeper into the floating gardens, where reality and dream mingle like mist dissolving into the lake. Here, the boundary between the real and the imagined fades until they are one, and you move forward without any effort at all, your canoe sliding on the surface as though guided by invisible hands. The chinampas rise on either side of you like green corridors, miraculous islands hovering between water and sky, their edges fringed with reeds and wildflowers, their hearts filled with the fertile soil that has nourished life for generations. The motion is seamless, as though you are floating not on water but on a current of pure air. It is the kind of movement that carries no urgency, no noise, only the deep rhythmic comfort of being held. You imagine the goddess Sakiketzel herself cradling you in her arms, rocking you forward through her gardens, her touch as light as petals drifting on a breeze. The gardens breathe all around you. Tall stalks of maize sway slowly, their broa, green leaves rustling like soft prayers whispered toward the sky. The corn rises from the rich black earth made from lake mud, decomposed reeds, and the gifts of countless seasons. A soil so alive with nutrients it feels almost magical, blessed by the gods of growth and plenty. You pass near a chinampa where an elderly farmer moves among his plants with deliberate gentleness. His skin is the warm bronze of a lifetime beneath the sun. His hands calloused yet tender as he inspects each stalk and leaf. There is reverence in every movement, a respect for the cycle of planting, tending, and harvesting that has been part of his life for longer than you can imagine. He lifts his head and meets your eyes, and though no words pass between you, his smile conveys a welcome, a blessing, and the quiet acknowledgement that you, too, belong to this sacred rhythm. His presence is a gift, another thread woven into the tapestry of calm surrounding you. Your canoe glides onward, and the chinampas change, opening into groves of cacao trees, their trunks dark and smooth, their leaves broad, glossy, and rich in color. Heavy pods hang from the branches, some green, others yellow, and some deep red, their colors forming a living palette that pleases the eye and rests the spirit. The air is thicker here, warmed and perfumed by the scent of cacao flowers, tiny pink and white blossoms glowing softly in the dappled sunlight. Their fragrance is gentle yet intoxicating, an aroma that fills your lungs with every slow, deep breath, settling into you like a quiet joy. It is not overwhelming, but soothing, like the faint sweetness that lingers in a memory you never want to leave. As you breathe it in, your shoulders drop, your heartbeat slows, and your mind drifts into a quiet so deep it feels bottomless. The world narrows to the gentle rocking beneath you, the steady rhythm of your breath, the occasional call of a distant bird. The lake, the gardens, the air itself seem to hold you in place, not as a prisoner, but as a guest who has been invited to stay as long as you wish. And so you do, letting your canoe drift further into the garden of floating dreams, carried on the currents of a peace older than the city, older than memory, older than time. Beneath the broad, sheltering arms of the cacao trees, where their great trunks rise like ancient pillars toward a canopy of living green, you notice something extraordinary. From the rough bark, slender vanilla vines climb upward in slow, deliberate spirals, their roots drinking deeply from the rich, black earth of the chinampa, a soil so fertile it seems almost alive beneath your gaze. Here and there, delicate orchid-like blossoms unfold, petals pale as dawn mist, each flower a brief miracle, destined to bloom for only a single day before yielding to the steady growth of the pods. Those pods, long, slender, and green hang like fingers of living jade. When the breeze passes gently through the grove, they sway in unison, releasing a fragrance so subtle yet so pure that it seems to seep into your very bones. It is a sweetness not of sugar but of memory, of hearth fires on cool nights, of safe places and quiet laughter. And with each breath you take, tension loosens, thoughts slow, your heart softens into stillness. Your canoe glides forward, and you pass under low-hanging branches that brush the water's surface with their leaves, leaving trails like strokes of green ink. The deeper you drift, the more you begin to see the intricate hidden heart of the Chinampas, the genius of their creation. Long poles, driven deep into the lake bed, stand like guardians, anchoring each floating garden against the pull of wind and current. Between them, lattices of reeds and woven branches knit the edges together, their interlacing strong yet yielding, just as water itself is. But the true marvel is the soil, layer upon layer of lake sediment, rotted vegetation, and human care, built up lovingly through generations until it forms a bed so rich that anything planted here thrives, as though the earth remembers every seed ever sown upon it. Now you drift into the fields of amaranth, the sacred grain, the life-giver of your people. The stalks stand tall and straight, each one a living column crowned with a plume of blossoms. Their leaves are deep green, shot through with veins of crimson and violet, so that every plant seems painted by an unseen artist. Above, the flowers rise in clusters of impossibly fine grains, so many and so small they seem almost to shimmer in the air. Burgundy gold, deep purple, their colors blaze like frozen fire, like the last moments of a sunset captured and held forever in stillness. The wind sighs and the amaranth moves, not as individual plants, but as a single living body, a tide of color flowing from one end of the Chinampa to the other. It is as though the land itself is breathing, inhaling and exhaling waves of light. Watching it, your mind empties of every thought but one: peace. Between these tall, swaying stalks, you glimpse treasures of another kind. Tomato plants heavy with fruit, their red skins catching the morning light like polished rubies. Some are round and perfect, others were the charming irregularities of nature, but all are alive with flavor waiting to be released. Nearby, chili plants sway under the weight of their fiery offerings. The broad green shoulders of mild poblanos, the lantern-like yellow cascabels, the tiny scarlet beads of the fierce tepin, the fire of the desert captured in a single bite. Each variety is tended with love and reverence, part of the ancient covenant between humans and the plants that have sustained them since time beyond memory. Your canoe slides deeper into the watery labyrinth, following narrow channels that curve and meander like a dream's logic. No beginning, no end, only the journey. The water is so still here that it becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting every branch, every stalk, every leaf with such clarity that the line between the world above and the world below vanishes entirely. You are suspended between two gardens, one one reflected, floating through a corridor of infinite green. Ahead, an archway of morning glory vines stretches over the channel. Their trumpet-shaped flowers open wide to greet the sun. Deep blues melt into purples, purples into whites, each blossom like a drop of sky caught and held among the leaves. As you glide beneath, the petals seem to lean toward you, brushing you with their soft fragrance. And for a moment it feels as if you are passing through a gate of blessing, protected, welcomed, embraced by the living world. Then, on a chinampa to your left, you see them, women moving slowly and deliberately among beds of medicinal plants. Their garments are simple, but their presence is luminous, and you recognize them at once as Karandras, healers, guardians of the old ways. Their hands move with quiet precision, touching each plant with both skill and affection, as though every leaf were a child in their care. The names of the herbs they tend are themselves poems. Tepizin, with its strong branches that shield and cleanse. Toloatzin, gentle yet potent. Chicolote, whose golden blooms hide the medicine of dreams. One of the women looks up, and her gaze meets yours across the water. Her face is lined not with age alone, but with the countless hours she has given in service to others. In her eyes, there is neither judgment nor expectation, only a serene kindness that seems to see you as you truly are. Slowly, she raises her hand, palm open, and you feel the blessing cross the distance like a warm wind, surrounding you, settling over you like a mantle of safety. Here, the healing garden glows as if lit from within. Passion fruit vines coil and climb, each flower a galaxy of white filaments around a dark heart. Hierba buena releases its cooling fragrance with the slightest touch, a green breath that clears the mind. Rue stands close by, its small yellow blossoms understated but resolute, guarding the space with its bitter strength. Every plant here holds a purpose, a story, a wisdom older than speech, each one an ally in the delicate, unending work of keeping the body whole and the spirit in balance. You drift past in silence, but the garden stays with you, settling into your memory like a stone sinking to the bottom of still water, resting there, waiting until the day you return. The sun continues its slow climb, and you realize the morning is advancing. Soon, the lake will be alive with the canoes of merchants and farmers, fishermen and travelers. The peaceful solitude will give way to the gentle bustle of human activity. But for now, in this suspended moment, there is only peace. The soft sound of water against your canoe, the patient wisdom of the heron, and the deep, steady calm of the lake. You close your eyes and let the sensations wash over you. The warmth of the sun on your face, the gentle rocking of the canoe beneath you, the clean scent of water and growing plants, the distant calls of unseen birds. All these sounds and scents blend into a quiet symphony of peace that seems to reach the very core of your being. Your breathing slows, deepens, and falls naturally into the rhythm of the lake's gentle waves. This is how the gods intended life to be lived, you think, in harmony with the natural world, taking only what is needed, giving back more than is taken, and moving through the world with reverence and gratitude. The lake is your temple, the canoe your prayer vessel, and this journey a form of moving meditation. The heron finally strikes. Its head darts down with lightning speed, emerging with a small fish held crosswise in its beak. The bird straightens, adjusts its grip, and swallows the catch with a satisfied shake of its head. Then, as if nothing had happened, it returns to stillness, ready to wait again. The entire sequence happens so quickly, it feels almost dreamlike, a reminder that even in the deepest peace, life continues its ancient cycles. You paddle slowly away from the heron, leaving it to its patient fishing. You carry with you the gift of its lesson, that true power comes from stillness, true action from patience, and true success from harmony with the natural rhythms of the world. These truths sink into you like warmth from the morning sun, becoming part of who you are. As your canoe glides through the peaceful water, you begin to notice the first signs of the awakening city. Thin streams of smoke rise from cooking fires on the distant islands. The low call of conch shells summons the early workers to their tasks. The faint splash of other canoes echoes across the lake as they begin their daily journeys. Yet these sounds do not disturb the peace. They enhance it, adding the gentle harmony of human activity to the lake's natural music. Your thoughts turn to the unique achievement of Tenochtitlan, a city built not against its environment, but in partnership with it. The lake was never an obstacle to conquer. It was a resource to honor and work with. The floating gardens, the intricate canals, the delicate balance between urban needs and the lake's ecology, all speak of a wisdom that knows true prosperity comes from cooperation, not domination. A family of beavers swims past, their sleek brown heads cutting V-shaped wakes in the calm water. They are returning to their lodge after a night of gathering food, their cheeks stuffed with tender water plants. They pay you no mind, accepting your presence as natural and non-threatening. In the Aztec view, humans are not set apart from nature, we are part of it, threads woven into the great web of life, not its masters. The beavers vanish into the reeds, leaving behind only the soft splashes of their swimming, sounds that fade back into the lake's morning symphony. You realize your own presence here is just as natural, just as much a part of the pattern. Your canoe is another creature moving across the water. Your paddle strokes, another rhythm in the day's music. Then a butterfly. It lands lightly on your paddle as you lift it from the water. Its wings are deep blue with edges of gold, the colors of sky and sunlight, of earth and transformation, perfectly balanced on the wooden blade. It opens and closes its wings in a slow, hypnotic rhythm. You hold still, unwilling to disturb this unexpected visitor, this messenger from the realm of beauty. Its presence feels like a blessing, a sign that your peaceful journey is approved by the spirits of the lake. In Aztec tradition, butterflies are symbols of the soul, of transformation and rebirth, of the eternal cycle of death and renewal that shapes all life. This small creature carries the quiet wisdom of metamorphosis, the understanding that change is not loss, but becoming. After a long, timeless moment, the butterfly lifts away from your paddle, dancing over the water on wings that catch the morning light. You watch until it disappears among the flowers of a floating garden, taking with you the memory of its perfect balance, its effortless grace, and its trust in the natural currents of air and time. Your paddle dips once more into the water with barely a sound, and your canoe resumes its gentle journey. The morning is fully awake now, the sun warm on your shoulders, the lake alive with quiet activity. Yet the deep peace remains, the certainty that you are exactly where you belong, exactly when you belong, part of the eternal dance of water and light, earth and sky, human and divine. In the distance, the Great Pyramid of Tenochtitlan rises into view, its stepped sides climbing toward the sun like a mountain shaped by human hands. Even here, it does not seem to dominate the landscape, but to belong to it, emerging from the island city like a crystal growing from the earth. The builders understood a truth many forget, that architecture should honor nature, not conquer it. Overhead, a flock of ducks sweeps past, their wings making a soft, whistling hum as they head toward the reed beds at the lake's edge. They fly in perfect formation, each bird positioned to share in the air currents created by the others. A final lesson in cooperation. In their flight is the understanding that true strength lies in supporting the whole, and that each life finds its fullest meaning within the larger pattern. The ducks vanish into the sheltering embrace of the cattails, yet their silent lesson lingers, echoing in your mind like a remembered melody. They are a living reminder that life, in its truest form, is meant to be shared, woven into a tapestry of connection, where each thread strengthens the whole. To live is to belong, to move in harmony with others who share the same waters, the same sky, the same dreams. Your journey this morning may be solitary, yet it is never truly alone. Every paddle stroke is in quiet conversation with the fish gliding beneath, the herons waiting in the reeds, the farmers guiding their canoes, the fishermen casting their nets, the spirits of those long past, and the laughter of generations yet to be born. The lake narrows into a place of delicate beauty. Water lilies bloom in a mosaic of white, pink, and yellow, their petals drinking in the morning light. Sunbeams filter through drifting clouds, scattering coins of gold across the rippling surface. Each movement of water reshapes the patterns, as though the lake itself were painting its own endless masterpiece. You drift forward, your paddle moving with an almost unconscious rhythm. A warm heaviness steals over your limbs. The gentle sway of the canoe is a lullaby, rocking you in time with the slow breathing of the earth. The sunlight rests on your skin like a blessing. The air carries the mingled scents of damp reeds, sweet blossoms, and clean water, an elixir of peace. Around you, the world has no edges, no demands, no urgency. Your strokes grow slower, slower still, until they are as natural as the heartbeat of the lake. You feel your mind begin to loosen its grip on waking thought, slipping toward a boundary realm, a soft, luminous threshold between waking and dreaming. Here, words dissolve into images, and the language of the water spirits begins to speak not in sentences but in visions. A butterfly's shimmering wings, the still patience of a heron ripples spreading from the leap of a silver fish. The last sensation before you drift away is one of complete safety. You are utterly at home, cradled by the arms of Lake Texcoco as a child is held by a loving parent. Your dreams will be filled with quiet wonders, wings beating in slow motion through shafts of light, lilies turning their faces toward the sun, the rhythmic song of water against the hull of your canoe. Night seems to rise within the morning, a velvety darkness carried by a cool, gentle breeze. It slides across the lilies, stirring their fragrance, carrying you deeper into the dream lake, where ancient spirits keep watch with infinite patience and boundless love. You drift into a sleep so profound that it feels like a return, as though you have always been here on these eternal waters, rocked by the tides of time itself. Chapter 2: The Sacred Marketplace of Tlatelolco. You awaken without the jolt of alarm, gently, as if the dream has simply changed its shape. The lake and its lilies dissolve, and in their place rises the living heart of the great marketplace of Tlatelolco. You are already walking, your steps slow and silent upon polished stone pathways that have been smoothed by the passage of countless feet before yours. Overhead, cotton awnings stretch like the sails of a vast ship, filtering the sunlight into a soft golden haze. Beneath them, the marketplace unfolds like a living garden, each stall a flowering plant tended with care. The air hums not with noise, but with the gentle undercurrent of purposeful life. The low murmur of voices, the soft slide of woven cloth being folded, the faint clink of polished obsidian, the rustle of leaves around a basket of fresh herbs. Everywhere, there is a sense of patience, of time moving at the pace of human hands and honest exchange. The merchants here are not simply sellers. They are guardians of traditions, inheritors of skills honed over generations. Each gesture arranging beans by, color polishing a clay vessel, weighing a handful of cacao, carries the quiet grace of ritual. You pause beside a stall that glows with the warm colors of the earth. An elderly woman tends it, her table covered with mounds of corn in a spectrum of hues. Sun-gold kernels bright as midday, deep wine-red grains that gleam like garnets, pale white corn as soft in color as a morning cloud, and, at the center, the sacred blue corn, rare and powerful, honored in ceremonies that bind the people to the cycles of land and sky. Her hands, weathered by decades of harvests, sift through the kernels with unhurried care. Her touch alone can tell which seeds will sprout into strong stalks that rise toward Father Sunday. She looks up and meets your eyes with a smile that is both welcome and recognition. An unspoken understanding that you, too, are part of this great chain of giving and receiving. Her face is mapped with the delicate lines of time, each one a mark of seasons endured, of planting and reaping, of rains prayed for and harvests celebrated. Her eyes hold the deep contentment of one who has found her rightful place, knowing that to feed others is to serve both earth and spirit. The corn speaks to those who listen, she says, her voice like a breeze moving through a field of grain, soft but carrying far. Each kernel remembers. It holds the story of the soil and the rains, of the sun, and of the hands that planted it with gratitude. Her words are not merely spoken, they are offered like a gift. In them is the ancient truth. Food is not a commodity, but a sacred trust, an inheritance from the land, meant to be received with reverence and returned with care. You move on slowly, your footsteps as soft as the drifting shadows of clouds. Each movement feels unhurried, as if the air itself is asking you to take your time. The marketplace around you seems to breathe, alive with gentle motion, an endless tapestry of colors, scents, textures, and the quiet hum of human voices. Your attention is drawn to a nearby stall where a master weaver sits at his loom. The loom itself is simple, built from smooth wood worn silky by years of use. But in his hands, it becomes an instrument of magic. The cotton threads stretched before him glisten faintly in the morning light, as if kissed by the first rays of the sun. The fabric he creates seems almost to glow from within, its colors drawn from the very heart of the natural world. Deep indigo blue, like the night sky after rain, extracted from the anil plant with patient care. Warm golden yellow, harvested from the sunlit petals of the sympasychil flower. Rich, glowing red from the tiny cochineal insects, carefully tended on prickly pear cacti, then gathered with reverence. Each hue is a story, each tone a fragment of the earth's song. Every pattern woven into the cloth carries meaning older than memory. Spirals that speak of the cycles of rain and drought, zigzags that echo the flash of lightning over sacred mountains, delicate shapes that recall the wings of butterflies, the gentle curve of maize leaves, the rippling surface of Lake Texcoco under the morning sun. This is more than fabric. It is a prayer in thread, a guardian's embrace for whoever wears it. The weaver is a young man, yet the focus in his eyes is as deep as a mountain lake. His shuttle flies back and forth in hypnotic rhythm, thread by thread, crossing and binding, creating strength and beauty from what was once loose fiber. His hands know the exact tension to hold, the precise moment to tighten or release, knowledge learned not in a single year, but over the slow unfolding of a lifetime, beginning in childhood, when his small hands first spun cotton into coarse thread, and growing through years of practice until mastery became second nature, you linger, mesmerized by the sound, the soft click of the loom, the quiet sigh of thread against thread. The rhythm seeps into you, slowing your breath, drawing you deeper into the marketplace's calm embrace. Drifting onward, you pass a potter's stall. The potter's hands are stained the color of riverbanks, moving with a patience born of deep connection to the earth. Clay turns under his fingers, taking shape without haste. Bowls for holding maize, jars for precious cacao, vessels to carry water from the lake. His every movement seems to honor the source of his material, as if he is coaxing the clay to reveal the form it has always wanted to take. A few steps away, a woodcarver sits beneath a shade awning, his tools older than he is, gifted from grandfather to father to son. He shapes spoons, bowls, and sacred figurines with strokes so measured that time itself feels slower in his presence. The smell of fresh cedar and copal wood rises from his workbench, mixing with the faint scent of crushed herbs drifting from nearby. The marketplace is alive, yet without urgency. The sounds around you form a soft symphony, the slap of tortillas being shaped by expert hands, the steady scrape of a matate grinding chili peppers into a fine, fragrant powder, the gentle clink of obsidian blades being arranged for display. This is not the noise of haste or competition, but the music of people working with purpose and care. Your steps bring you to a stall fragrant with the sense of the earth's medicine. A healer, her hair braided with small flowers, arranges bundles of sage and copal resin for cleansing the spirit. Next to them lie the dried petals of the passion fruit vine, used to calm the troubled heart. The glossy leaves of the cacao tree, prepared for giving strength and courage. Bark from the willow tree, known to ease pain. Each plant is treated like an honored guest, laid carefully upon the cloth-covered table. The healer's fingers move with the tenderness of someone who knows each leaf, each root, each flower as an individual friend. Her knowledge is not written in books but lives in her memory, passed down from the long line of medicine women before her. She knows which herbs should be gathered under the full moon, which prefer to be dried in the shade, which must be combined in precise balance to heal not only the body but the spirit. Beside her sits a young apprentice, grinding dried herbs into a fine powder with a small stone mortar. Her movements are slow and deliberate, matching the rhythm her teacher showed her. She is learning that true healing is never rushed, that every remedy must be prepared with intention, infused with quiet love for the one who will receive it. You walk deeper still, beneath awnings that filter the sunlight into soft patterns of gold and shadow upon the pathways. The paths curve gently, encouraging slow exploration. Here, efficiency serves beauty, and the act of wandering through the marketplace feels as meaningful as any purchase you might make. At a spice merchant's stall, the air itself becomes intoxicating. You breathe in the deep, warm aroma of ground vanilla beans, the sharp heat of dried chili peppers, each variety with its own story. The earthy richness of cacao beans, dark with the oils that will soon be transformed into sacred chocolate. The merchant, a woman with eyes that miss nothing, can tell by scent alone which peppers were dried in the sun and which over fire, which vanilla pods were harvested at the perfect moment of ripeness, and which will release their fragrance slowly over time. Your senses are filled, yet your spirit feels lighter than when you first arrived. The market is not just a place of trade. It is a living heart, beating with the rhythms of craft, of culture, of connection. It is a reminder that beauty and usefulness are not separate things, that each creation, whether cloth or clay or cocoa, carries within it the care, intention, and love of the hands that made it. And as you walk on, your mind drifts into that gentle state between waking and dreaming, where each voice, each scent, each color becomes part of a larger song, a lullaby of life lived in harmony with the land, the sky, and the water. If you are listening to this as you drift towards sleep, let your eyes grow heavy now. Let your breath slow to match the quiet rhythms of the marketplace. And if this peaceful journey has brought you calm, remember to gently asterisk like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can return to this world whenever your heart longs for it. Because here, in the sacred marketplace of Tlatelolco, you are always welcome. She measures spices with scales carved from polished stone, weights etched with ancient symbols invoking the blessings of the gods upon each transaction. The scales gleam softly in the filtered morning light, their surfaces worn smooth by countless careful uses. Every purchase here becomes more than a simple exchange. It transforms into a sacred ceremony, a delicate dance honoring both buyer and seller, the divine woven seamlessly into the fabric of daily life. In this world, there is no division between the sacred and the mundane. Every gesture, every action, when performed with attention and respect, becomes a prayer offered to the unseen forces that sustain all life. Nearby, children move through the marketplace with the fluid grace of fish swimming through clear water, unconscious and perfectly at home in their environment. They weave effortlessly between stalls, their laughter a soft and musical counterpoint to the gentle murmur of commerce. These children carry messages between merchants, assist their parents in arranging goods, and absorb, through quiet observation and hands-on learning, the skills they will one day need as adults. Their presence fills the marketplace with an undercurrent of joyful energy, an echo of the community's continuity and the future's promise. One child pauses beside you, a girl no older than 8, with eyes dark and bright, full of curiosity and sharp intelligence. She carries a small basket, woven with such exquisite skill that it seems to have been crafted by the hands of fairies themselves. Inside, delicate flowers picked fresh from the floating gardens, morning glories unfurling in shades of soft blue, jasmine with its subtle sweetness, marigolds blazing like tiny suns, and fragile white blossoms whose scent is like distilled sunshine, fill the basket with color and fragrance. With a smile full of pure, unguarded generosity, she offers you a single flower. You accept it with gratitude, bringing it gently to your nose to inhale its delicate perfume. This simple gift feels like a blessing bestowed from the heart of the marketplace itself, a reminder that beauty is not meant to be hoarded, but shared freely. Even the smallest act of kindness sends ripples outward, touching lives far beyond the moment of giving. The child slips away quickly, bare feet silent against the smooth stone pathways, leaving behind the soft fragrance of the flower and the warm memory of innocent generosity. Nearby, an old merchant sits quietly in the dappled shade of his stall. His worn hands rest gently on the treasures accumulated over a lifetime of careful trading. Around him lie jade beads that gleam like captured fragments of the sea, obsidian mirrors reflecting the sky and clouds above like dark portals to other realms, and feathers from quetzal birds so brilliantly colored they seem to glow with an inner light. Each item is arranged with the reverence of a priest tending sacred altar offerings, positioned just so, to reveal its beauty in the soft morning light. His hands move slowly now, the stiffness of arthritis making quick movements difficult. Yet his touch remains sure, steady, and gentle, an extension of the deep respect he holds for these treasures. His fingers brush lightly over the jade beads, as if greeting old friends, pausing to smooth the feathers with the tenderness of one who understands the fragile grace of life itself. Though his body ages, his spirit remains vibrant, connected to the marketplace and the sacred traditions it embodies. The old merchant's eyes meet yours, wise, calm, and knowing. In their depths is the reflection of countless dawns spent here, watching seasons turn, stories unfold, and lives intertwine. He offers a slow nod of greeting, a silent blessing that speaks volumes. For a moment, the bustle of the marketplace falls away, leaving only the quiet communion of shared presence, a connection forged across generations. As you continue your journey through the marketplace, your senses drink deeply of the sights, sounds, and scents around you. The subtle rustle of woven fabrics in the morning breeze, the faint crackle of fire where tortillas are being cooked, the warm, spicy aroma of freshly ground chili peppers mingling with the sweet scent of ripening fruit. The marketplace is a living mosaic, a harmonious blend of human creativity and natural abundance. You find yourself drawn to a stall where vibrant pottery gleams in the soft sunlight. The vessels are shaped by hands that seem to understand the language of the earth itself. Each curve, each line telling a story of water and fire, clay and spirit. You trace the intricate patterns etched into the surface, symbols of rain, maize, and the great cycles of life and death. These pots are more than containers. They are vessels of memory, holding within them the pulse of the world. Further along, a young musician plays a flute made from bone, the notes drifting lightly through the marketplace like a gentle breeze. The melody weaves seamlessly with the murmur of voices and the sounds of daily work, creating a soundscape of peace and continuity. The music speaks of the heart of Tlatelolco itself, a place where life's many threads come together in vibrant, harmonious dance. You pause beneath a canopy of woven palm leaves, resting for a moment as the marketplace carries on around you like a river of gentle life. Here, in this sacred space where the ordinary and the divine intertwine, you feel a profound sense of belonging. Each step you take, each breath you draw, connects you more deeply to the ancient rhythms of this land, to the wisdom of those who walked before you, and to the promise of those who will come after. And as you prepare to leave this vibrant marketplace behind, you carry with you its peaceful spirit, its lessons of patience, reverence, and the sacredness of everyday life. You know you can return here any time in your mind, whenever the world feels too fast or too harsh, and find again this gentle harmony. If you are listening now, as your eyes begin to grow heavy, allow yourself to be carried softly into rest by the sounds and stories of Tlatelolco. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel so that you may return whenever your heart calls for peace, calm, and the timeless beauty of a world in perfect balance. As you step gently away from the stall, the soft clatter of pottery behind you mingles with the distant laughter of children playing near the water's edge. The marketplace hums with life, yet retains an unmistakable calm, a peaceful energy born of centuries of tradition, care, and community. Each breath you take is filled with the mingled sense of earth and fire, flower and spice, the intangible perfume of a place where nature and humanity meet in sacred partnership. Your footsteps guide you toward the center of the marketplace, where the main plaza opens wide like a heart beating slowly in the morning light. Here, merchants and buyers gather not only to exchange goods but to share stories, to honor the cycles of life, and to renew bonds that stretch back through generations. Colorful banners flutter softly overhead, their woven patterns depicting scenes of creation, harvest, and celestial bodies. Reminders that this marketplace is more than commerce. It is a living celebration of the cosmos itself. You find a quiet spot near a fountain carved from volcanic stone, its water sparkling clear and cool. The sound of the flowing water blends with the soft rhythm of chanting from a nearby temple, where priests perform morning rituals. Their voices rise and fall in harmonies that echo the natural music of birdsong and wind, creating an auditory tapestry that envelopes the entire square. Nearby, a group of elders gathers in deep conversation, their weathered faces etched with lines that tell of wisdom earned through decades of life's lessons. They speak slowly, deliberately, sharing knowledge not only of trade but of sacred lore, stories of gods and heroes, of the land's spirit and the eternal dance between light and shadow. Their words ripple through the marketplace like gentle waves, touching all who listen with a quiet strength. As you watch, a young boy approaches one of the elders, hands outstretched to receive a small carved figurine, an intricate representation of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent deity. The elder's eyes shine with pride as he passes the sacred object to the boy, symbolizing the transmission of faith, culture, and responsibility to the next generation. This simple exchange embodies the enduring cycle of life, teaching, and renewal that sustains your people. Your gaze drifts upward toward the sky, where wisps of clouds drift lazily over the sun, casting soft shadows that dance across the stone pathways and woven awnings. The air is warm but gentle, infused with the promise of a day unfolding in harmony and grace. A soft breeze carries the distant sound of drums and flutes from a nearby plaza, where preparations for an upcoming festival are underway. The rhythmic beat calls to your heart, stirring memories of celebration, community, and sacred connection. Moving forward, you come upon a stall filled with finely crafted jewelry. Necklaces of turquoise and jade, earrings fashioned from shimmering gold, and delicate bracelets woven from feathers and beads. Each piece tells a story, not only of artistic skill but of deep spiritual significance. The artisans explain how each stone and symbol embodies blessings for health, protection, and prosperity, weaving magic and meaning into every creation. The marketplace here is a testament to the extraordinary harmony between craft and spirit. You feel a profound gratitude for the hands that shape raw materials into objects of beauty and power, honoring both the earth's gifts and the divine spark within all creation. Nearby, a storyteller gathers a small crowd beneath a shade tree, weaving tales of ancient warriors and wise rulers, of sacred mountains and celestial journeys. His voice is rich and soothing, carrying you across time to moments when gods walked among mortals and the fate of the world rested on the courage and wisdom of those who dared to dream. The listeners hang on every word, eyes wide with wonder, hearts opened by the power of story to teach and heal. Chapter 3: The Whispering Temples of Tenochtitlan. As the sun begins its steady descent toward the horizon, casting long shadows over the city of Tenochtitlan, you find yourself drawn away from the bustling marketplace and toward the sacred heart of the island. The majestic temples that rise like ancient mountains against the sky. Their stepped pyramids gleam faintly in the warm evening light, their stone surfaces etched with intricate carvings that tell stories older than memory itself. You approach the great plaza of the sun, where priests and pilgrims gather in quiet reverence. The air here is thick with the scent of copal incense, swirling in delicate clouds that dance upward toward the heavens. The rhythmic beating of drums pulses softly in the distance, a steady heartbeat that seems to synchronize with your own breath, grounding you in this moment between earth and sky. Around you, the city hums with a different energy now, one of solemnity and sacred purpose. Families pause their daily tasks to honor the gods, offering prayers and gifts in humble gratitude for the gifts of life and harvest. You sense the presence of the divine in every carved stone, every fluttering feather, every whispered chant. Here, the boundary between the mortal world and the realm of the gods feels thin, almost porous. You take slow, deliberate steps toward the great temple of Huitzilopochtli, the sun and war god whose power protects and guides your people. The temple's towering steps are worn smooth by generations of pilgrims who have ascended to offer their devotion. As you climb, you feel the weight of history pressing gently upon your shoulders. a tapestry woven from sacrifice, hope, and the unyielding will to endure. At the summit, the view unfolds breathtakingly. The vast lake sparkling with the last golden rays of daylight, the floating gardens like islands of green, and the city's rooftops shimmering softly as twilight approaches. You stand in silence, breathing in the sacred stillness, your heart open to the prayers carried on the evening breeze. Nearby, a group of priests prepare for the evening ceremony. Their voices rise in harmonic chant, words sung in the ancient Nahuatl language that reverberate through the cool air. The flames of torches flicker, casting dancing shadows that animate the stone reliefs. Serpents, eagles, jaguars, each symbol alive with meaning and power. As darkness falls, the temple becomes a place of transformation. You sense the presence of ancestors, their spirits gathering to watch over the living, to guide and protect. The night sky, studded with stars, stretches endlessly above, a celestial canopy reminding you of the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. You close your eyes, letting the sacred energy envelop you. In this moment, you are not merely a visitor. You are part of the great continuum, a thread in the vibrant fabric of Tenochtitlan's living spirit. The priests' chants grow louder, their voices rising and falling like the ebb and flow of the lake's gentle waves. The scent of copal thickens, curling around you like a protective veil. You watch as they arrange offerings on the stone altar, a finely woven cloth embroidered with symbols of the sun and moon, bowls filled with vibrant maize kernels, and delicate feathers plucked from the sacred Quetzal bird. Each item placed with care and reverence, each gesture a prayer in itself. A young priest approaches and gently touches your shoulder, his eyes filled with serene wisdom. Without words, he invites you to join the circle of worshipers, and you step forward willingly, feeling the sacred weight of the moment deepen within you. You kneel beside the altar, your hands resting lightly on the cool stone. The murmured prayers around you seem to pulse with life, connecting past and future in a shared heartbeat of devotion. Above, the first stars begin to twinkle in the darkening sky, their light faint yet infinite. You think of the great cosmic serpent, Sepakli, whose body forms the universe itself, and the cycle of creation and destruction that governs all existence. The priests chant now in unison, invoking the blessings of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, god of wind, wisdom, and life's renewal. The sound vibrates through your chest, awakening something ancient and powerful within. A flame is lit in the central brazier, its flickering light casting long shadows that seem to dance and sway with the rhythm of the chants. You close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing yourself to be carried by the sacred song, carried into a realm where time folds and meaning transcends words. In this sacred space, you feel your spirit align with the divine, pure, radiant, and eternal. Suddenly, a soft breeze stirs, carrying with it the scent of blooming sympassical flowers from the floating gardens below. The petals seem to glow faintly in the torchlight, their vibrant orange a symbol of life's enduring beauty even in the face of darkness. You open your eyes and see the priests beginning a ritual dance, their movements precise and graceful, telling stories of creation, heroism, and the eternal struggle between light and shadow. As the dance reaches its climax, you sense a profound stillness settle over the temple, as if the gods themselves are watching, approving, and blessing this ancient rite. You feel humbled and honored to witness it, a moment suspended between the earthly and the divine, a moment where you belong wholly and completely. When the ceremony concludes, the priests lower their voices to gentle whispers. The crowd begins to disperse slowly, their faces serene, their hearts full. You remain for a while longer, gazing out over the glowing city, the lake shimmering like a sea of stars beneath the moonlight. You understand now that Tenochtitlan is more than a city. It is a living spirit, a place where the human and the sacred dance together in an endless embrace. As you descend the temple steps, your footsteps echo softly on the ancient stone, each step a reminder of the path you walk, a path of respect, connection, and deep understanding. The night air wraps around you like a comforting cloak, carrying the whispers of ancestors and the promise of tomorrow. You pause at the edge of the plaza, looking once more at the great pyramids silhouetted against the starry sky. The temple's sacred energy lingers in your bones, a steady flame burning bright even as darkness deepens. You know that this night, this moment, will live within you forever, a beacon of peace and purpose to guide you through whatever challenges lie ahead. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful journey through the sacred world of Tenochtitlan. May the calm rhythms of water, wind, and ancient wisdom carry you gently into restful sleep and sweet dreams. If you've enjoyed this story and want to explore more tranquil tales that soothe your mind and heart, be sure to subscribe to the Story to Sleep channel. Your support helps keep these stories flowing, guiding you to peaceful moments whenever you need them. Rest well, and until next time, may your nights be calm and your dreams full of light. Sweet dreams from Story to Sleep.